So we're on our way to the ferry terminal today on Coopville, and we came to this dog park on the way. We're about 4 miles from the terminal. Gonna be on the ferry, Tio. Better run. Run while you can. Look how dang cute you are. Look how cute you are. Made it to the ferry terminal. We went to the gate, paid our money, showed our piece of paper here, which is our reservation that we had made. And now we're in line. Here at Harbinger Winery. Made it off the ferry. You couldn't even tell you were on a ferry actually moving. It was so smooth. Tio slept in the back the whole time after the dog park. But this is our harvest host for the night. We're doing a tasting and then going to our spot. This place is really cool. They just started doing harvest hosts like 3 days ago. We've had 5 people. I got the wine tasting for $10. You get 6 of the wines. So I'm going to start with that. Chuck got the IPA beer, and they have a cool cider that I'm going to have to try. So we'll see what I like after having the wine and if I'm going to get the cider. Here's the gate into the winery area where we park because we drive about 3 miles to get here. It's not locked, you just unhook it over there. We had a great night at our harvest host day and made our way the next day to Olympic National Park. At the Peabody Creek Trail, it's a half-mile loop right here from the visitor center. We're in the RV parking and we came out and all of a sudden everybody had kind of cleared out. The forest is really pretty. Look at the huge trees, and Tio's loving it. This is the Hurricane Ridge Drive, and the wildflowers are just beautiful. I think there's a meadow somewhere where we're supposed to be able to walk through all the wildflowers, and she said it was really pretty. That's the Meadow Loop Trail, but there's no wildflowers. The ranger said it was the end of the season, but mostly there's no wildflowers because the marmot lives here, and they feed on the wildflowers. So they ate all of them except these tall fuzzy ones because they don't like those. It's kind of a cool tree. See the deer? My suggestion is don't come to this beach. Some of it's a pretty drive, but the road's horrible. Coming in through the whole national forest. So, been a long day. So we're hoping we can get in. The sign said a 3-hour wait. That's got to be like at noon. That can't be like all day now. They're only about maybe like, 25 minutes away. Alright, so we made it to the whole visitor center. We were able to get parking, so that was nice and easy. From here we're going to do some trails. Look how clear this water is. It's just beautiful. Lots of mossy. If you can see how tall the trees are. You can see how it kills the trees off. Park app talked about this, how you have a log that's straight and then the seedlings drop from the trees and then they get new trees. So here's another one of these, the straight logs where the trees are growing out of it. And it looks like the roots just grow over if it's high up and reaches the ground. Yeah. Alright, so we're on the spruce trail now. And here's this huge tree. It's gigantic. We left the Olympic National Park, the whole rainforest portion, and we were able to come and find this boondocking spot here. It was down this dirt road outside of the park, and it said you could get onto the riverbed, but you can't. It's kind of a deep drop off here. There's some tent spots. The riverbed, maybe at one point you could get off into it, but not now. It's like a steep drop off. Got this parking space here on the side of the road. Pets have to be on leash, but dogs are allowed. And it's really just a short walk over to the beach. We're gonna go find the Tree of Life, but it's at a campground farther down the road. And so we decided to pull over before because we don't want to know what the situation's like to park at the campground. Oh my gosh, all this is washed up. Did he get a drink?
Yeah.
This is Tio's first time at the Pacific Beach. This is the tree of life. You can see it's like barely in any soil, but it's still growing. Still growing, still alive. Eagle's still going. Coast is beautiful. Look at these trees, they're just beautiful. You can see how they're all leaning because the wind must always come from the north. Oh, there's parking down here.
Yeah, there's parking here. There's parking up here.
Yeah. All right, so this is the nature trail. We're in the forest today. Olympic National Forest instead of the park, so Tio gets to go. This is a Douglas fir, and you'll see it goes all the way up. And there's no branches until like way up there. It's a nice little loop. It's pretty short. Trees are huge. Oh, there's moss on these little plants. Moss on the logs. This moss. So weird. Just look at it. It drapes over the branches. Get to the Cascade Falls. They're not super big, but it's pretty. We're heading to the world's record Sitka spruce tree. This will be a short little trail here. We had a quick lunch in the van. We left Tio in the van. Guy was weed eating, and so Tio was a little freaked out. There it is, the world's largest spruce tree. 55'11" circumference, 191 tall. 1,000 years old. Wow. I've never been to Oregon before my whole life. You haven't either. This is their first time in Oregon, so it's kind of exciting. We made it to Seaside. We're going to Sisu Brewing Company. It's in an old theater. Looks pretty cool. Made it to Cannon Beach. This is the place for puffins. And this is called Haystack Rock.
Yeah, no.
Dogs are allowed on the beach too, so got dogs down here. This is a pretty beach. It was late. I think it was like 7:15 when we got to camp tonight. It was a really nice day, but really too long of a day. So we made it to the Tillamook Creamery today. 1894, Cheese King of the Coast. That's all the cheeses: garlic, chili, cheddar, English style, sweet cheddar. Got charcuteries, they've got summer sausage, which we got, glasses, cutting boards. Nice, we got a lot of really good cheese. To Pacific City, to the Pelican Pub and Brewery. This is a second location from the one we saw yesterday. But beautiful view right here on the beach. You'll see to the right, there's people over there sliding down the sand dunes. There's this one area where there was sand dunes on both sides of the road. It was really cool. Today he actually got to try the other beer, and he said it's really good. He hadn't drank the one that he got to go yesterday yet. This is after Pacific City. It was a little scenic spot you could pull over back on the 101. We had planned to explore more of the southern coast of Oregon, but the more we drove today, the more crowded it got, and there was definitely no place to park the van. We wanted to go to Depot Bay, to the whale watching center, and it was just city after city, so we finally decided it was time to just head inland. All right, so today we're on a really nice drive through Oregon, and we thought we were going to be driving through all these cities, but we're really just driving through like forest mostly. A little bit of traffic here and there, but really not bad at all. We made it to the Crater Lakes National Park. It was like a line to get in, and people were parking cars in the RV parking, so we had to park in the car parking. So we're sticking out a lot.
What happens when you got a 12,000 foot mountain and nothing to support it? It's going to fall.
And so it fell there.
So the mountain fell. It made a big hole.
These are pretty cool. So they say these forms from the ash and the hot magma coming up. A lot more here. You can even see some over across the way. Here and there. I think those are probably the best ones. So it says erosion reveals the hardened pinnacles. The eruption buries the valley. The gas flowed down slopes during the cataclysm eruption. And then the water escaped, and then out of the ashes the pinnacles grew. Very cool. It's like such a small hole up there it's coming out of. At 1,943 feet, Crater Lake is one of the deepest in the U.S., and it's also one of the purest waters on the earth, and it gives it this rich blue that's indescribable. Made it to Bend, Oregon. Parking was a little tricky, but we got lucky and got a spot. We're coming to this food truck called Mother Shuckers. I guess it's for oysters, but I'm getting crab cakes because Dungeness crab is one of the things to get in Oregon. After this, we're heading to a couple of breweries, and then we're gonna maybe go to the riverfront or try to find another dog park. Here's my crab cakes with cocktail sauce and arugula salad thing. Chuck's got shishitos and shrimp. We are at the Riverbend Park off-leash area. Our lunch was fabulous. It felt so healthy. I haven't had arugula in like a month and a half. And so it was really, really good. And the crab cakes were delicious. Chuck's shrimp were good. His peppers were good. It was just delicious. The dog park we went to this morning was temporarily closed for construction. So we came over here to the Riverbend Park off-leash area. And I like this don't poo loop. Please pick up the poop. So this is just no grass, all dirt. They're getting all wet down there, which is cute. This is the Boneyard Beer Company in Bend, Oregon. This was one that Chuck wanted to go to because they have really high rated IPAs and like 5 different IPA choices.
So we use their distributors and we're now outside of Oregon, which is really...
Waiting for Chuck at the Crux Fermentation Project. Looks like he's got a ton of cans. They have a lot of food trucks here. The lady at the last brewery said this was a good place. You got a lot!
5 different kinds.
Some great food in Bend. And Tio got to go to a dog park finally. And we got this awesome boondocking spot. A couple other people that showed up, but we got the best spot. The Oregon Badlands, which start a little bit farther past here. So you can't drive past that. But this is kind of cool with the lava rocks and the brush out here. And so this is super nice and quiet and relaxing, and we have time to plan out the rest of our schedule, which is nice because usually we've been rushing. The temperature is amazing. We're in the shade. It's probably like low 80s. Shorts today for the first time in a couple of days. Oh, so cute! We can't see anything behind us, and the road has been dirt. We're halfway now, 33 miles of dirt. Okay, so we're coming up on the free entrance. I forgot to mention back there they had hot springs too. This one's called Frog Springs Alvord Desert entrance. They've got like pit toilets. Yeah, we don't know if the sports cars came out here or if they paid for the... It's $10 if you go in at the other place to go in to just use the road, I think. Or $20 maybe now. But, yeah, all those sports cars, they were really low. Especially the TT, so maybe the other entrance is flat and that's how they're getting away with charging people. There's a ton of cars out there, look. It's very smooth. This is supposed to be, I think they said 12 by 7 miles. They got their window down. I don't know why. Alright, so we just made it out here to the other side of the flat. It's so smoky because there's fires everywhere. And doesn't smell as bad, but you can see how hazy it is. You can't even see those mountains over there. Theo loves it because we're miles away from everything, so we didn't even put his collar or e-collar on or anything. So he's out here free to roam. We started getting into a little bit of soft sand at one point, so we kind of went more to the left to get back into the hard stuff. Those big groups were really big groups of cars. A little bit of a breeze, which is nice. It's really not that hot out here. Going about 40 miles an hour was like the perfect speed to go over some of the washboards to keep it fairly smooth. At the end it got rougher, and then at the very beginning it was rougher, probably the first 6 miles and the last 8 miles. I was going to clean off the back of the van today, and it's probably a good thing I didn't because we ended up on this dirt road. We thought the whole road was paved, but it's not. So anyway, it's not supposed to rain, Chuck said, so hopefully we're okay. You can see off in the distance, just right straight in front of me, that big cluster of cars. Run, Tia, You are going wild, Tio. Your nose is all covered in dirt. Tio loves the desert. It took us 45 minutes off the dirt road to get back to the main road. Getting kind of bad land looking here. We left the Alvord Desert and we turned left on 95. I think we eventually end up on 55 to go into Boise. Able to just get our laundry done today in Boise. Had lunch before we did our laundry. Washed the van. Tio, come on, there's dogs. Now we're taking Tio to the Wagon Tails Dog Park. And it's actually called Star, Idaho here. It's the outskirts of Boise. Whoa. Run, Tio, run! Run! Yay! To recap, we traveled over 13,000 miles on our Alaska journey so far. We're at the Ann Morrison Memorial Dog Park, and it's an island. And so the dogs just go over this little water to the island, so there's no fencing. And it's really super nice. I really like Boise. Apparently Tio's having a good time. Oh, there's dogs getting in the water over there.
It's open.
So this is the famous West Side Drive-In, where they have steak fingers and potato ice cream, and I'm not sure what else. We're gonna look at the menu and see what else we're gonna get.
Fried bologna sandwich, $3. I'm in.
It says good eats for 67 years. So this is what we're getting, this finger steaks. Gathiere's been here. They have dog treats there. Look at this pile of food. This is our finger steaks. And then Chuck got a bologna sandwich for like $3. The hamburgers are $3, the doubles are $4, and the triple is $6. So it's cheap eats, just like it says up there. So Chuck loves his bologna sandwich. This is what the steak finger steaks look like. Just steak with this batter around it. They've got cocktail sauce and fry sauce with them. And it's kind of weird eating cocktail sauce because, like Chuck said, we're used to eating shrimp with cocktail sauce, so it just feels weird. But they're good. It's just a lot of fried. They do give you a piece of Texas toast.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just like, look how realistic that looks.
That is so cool.
I could have got real spoons. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to eat.
I didn't know it was that hard.
Oh my gosh. That's cold and chocolatey. Yeah, these spoons don't do it.
I think it's,
Oh yeah, this goes much better.
God, it's still pretty hard.
It's still hard, yeah.
We could have probably got that when we got our meal in here instead of...
It's just like a hot fudge sundae. This dog bed's falling apart. Got a hole here and all the stuffing over there. I mean, it all came out when we washed his bed yesterday, or at least half the bed it came out of it. So we stuffed it all back in, put it in the sun and let it dry, trying to make it last the last 3 weeks before we get home. Tonight we're going to be having these mega bowls for dinner. We had our lunch today at Westside and it was so good. Tio's being a good little boy. I'm charging his e-collar because it was dead. So we have him out here loose, but he's being really good. It's not smoky, so I think they must have the fire out by now. Our spot's level, and it's shady here, and it's a bit of a breeze. And no smoke either, so that's been really nice. So, it's been a nice day. What time we get here? Like 3 o'clock? So, 3:15, 3:30. So that's a nice time to get to camp because it gives you time to do research for the next day and get a bit organized and relax some from the drive. Made it to Sun Valley for a place for breakfast. I'm getting hot chocolate and Chuck's got some kind of coffee thing. And it looks pretty with the leaf on the top. We thought nobody would be here because it's a ski resort. My schnitzel over waffle with bacon jam and gravy.
Oh my god, the schnitzel looks amazing.
It does look good. Chuck got bacon chili keely. This is where we ate. That was an expensive breakfast. So, yeah, big meal. $69 plus the tip. So it was like $83.30. I asked the lady and she said this isn't just a ski resort. Because I'm like, why are so many people here? And she said that they come here to fish and bike and hike and golf, and that they're just as busy in the summer as they are in the ski season, she said. We're at the entrance. It's like RV parking over there. Hopefully they're open. Cones. Miniature volcanoes formed when blobs of molten lava lobbed into the air during the last gasps of an eruption. This is pretty cool. A small park. But I think it's been better than we thought it was going to be. Made it to Twin Falls at the visitor center. This is the bridge they jump off of. The parachutes or the wing people, they jump off of these. This is the Evel Knievel launch site over the Snake River. Up there's the ramp that he went off of. There is no way I could ever even contemplate such a crazy thing, to drive up this ramp and jump across this. What do you mean? Oh. Oh, my heart just almost stops at the edge. How could you possibly make that? Mind-boggling. This is a dog park in Salt Lake City. A lot of traffic in Salt Lake City. That last 30 miles was long. I was super excited when I woke up this morning to be coming to the Scion Cider Bar. I've had this on my list for 2 years. They have like 20-something ciders on tap and over 200 ciders in a can. But I gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed. So this is the inside of Scion Brewing. You can see a lot of the cans here, and then there's the draft list. And you can do flights, but you have to use the flights that they have. You can't mix and match. You can't get any of those to go. Only the Scion you can get to go, and only what they have in the case. I got the flight here, which is a fruit flight. He said it's probably the sweetest. And Chuck's getting a beer he wanted. I got another flight. None of the last ones just blew me away. And this is what Chuck got. Chuck said the beer is really, really good.
Like a 3.9 on
I finally found
There
a
it is.
sweet one.
3.76.
Farmhouse cider brunch, cinnamon and maple. It's very good. So, but you can't get this one to go. And we decided to come to this barbecue place down the street. It's called Pat's Barbecue. And it says featured on the Food Network, diners, drive-ins, and dives. We had no idea. So, that's pretty exciting. Looking forward to this now. Ordered the pulled pork with mac and cheese and mashed potatoes with gravy, and it comes with cornbread. Chuck got the combo with chicken and pork. And then he got dirty rice.
Oh my god.
Is it good?
It's like,
They have beignets for dessert. I want to get beignets.
it's kind of like jambalaya.
They had a jambalaya on the menu too. They had some Cajun stuff. I was surprised. But he said Guy Fieri got the meatloaf. This is where we're staying in Salt Lake City for the night. Last night was pretty sketchy, so I would not recommend that place. Alright, so we're here. Chuck's airing down the tires. We're starting the dirt road. The Jurassic National Monument is 14 miles. We went to that before, and we did not air down. It was a horrible drive, and the park wasn't worth it. The Wedge Overlook is 20 miles. We got this amazing spot. And we have this amazing view. And there's like not a single person anywhere around us. Chuck said it's like 90 degrees maybe. So it is warm for a lot of people, but it feels pretty good to me. Made it out to the end of the little Grand Canyon and the Wedge overlook. This place is phenomenal. I got Tio on the leash because we don't trust him around the edges. Here to heights, so this is kind of scary for me when standing here. Chuck's got the drone going. So standing almost 1,000 feet above the little Grand Canyon of the San Rafeal River, you can read some of the geological events in the history of the Earth. It's about the Rincon to the left, which is a scar cut by the riverbed into solid rock and abandoned as it flowed downward through the Earth's slowly rising rock. And then we have the Quillada Formation, the Navajo Sandstorm to the left, the Good Water Canyon, which is the one with the river down there, the Wingate Formation. Tio's up, so I had to move the camera. The San Rafeal River, the Chinelle Formation, I see that down there. San Rafeal Campground, wow, way over there. That's amazing. Little Grand Canyon, the Bottleneck Peak, the Assembly Hall Peak, the Willow Blind Peak, the Navajo Sandstone Knob, and the peaks above Cap Mesa. Wedge overlook and the Little Grand Canyon were awesome. We're back at the information center, which looks like it's not open, but they do have some guides here that we can take. That's closed. We didn't go very far, and we came to the sign that says the dinosaur tracks. Whoa, that is so cool. Here's the dinosaur track. They did put rocks around it so nobody walks on it, and there's some petroglyph art up there. A long way from the van. We're still climbing. Chuck finally found the panel up there. I'm out of breath. It's 97 degrees out. Theo's in the van, the AC on. Oh yeah. You got, looks like rams and people, and that's a weird little elephant dog thing there. Yep. The heat off the wall and off the ground is super, super hot. We are way up here though. Way up here. Pretty cool. Alright, get out of here. Here we are at the Buckhorn West Petroglyph panels. Information brochure. Those are cool ones. Looks like counting again. They're counting. Looks like wings, or really long fingers like wings. We made it to our campsite for tonight. You have to park in designated areas here, and so we found a little site that was level, and it has this really awesome tree here. Look at the bark on this tree, it's really cool. So we've been sitting under the tree, and Tio's been trying to hang out inside, but it's 97 degrees inside. This place is really awesome. Believe it or not, we have a little bit of cell service here. We're only 5 miles in. It's 30 miles to the interstate. Hopefully the sun over here is going to go behind the mountain and we're going to get some shade, and it's going to really cool off later. Thankfully, it did cool off last night when the sun went down. Today, we're going to make our way to the city of Green River. There, they have a restaurant, Tamarisk, which we absolutely love. They have the best cinnamon rolls and Navajo fry bread. It's really great service, and we're super excited to be able to go back to eat there again. We stopped and truck flew the drone a little bit and continued down the road, and now we're at the San Rafeal River and the San Rafeal Bridge. The San Rafeal Bridge is the only suspension bridge remaining in the state of Utah. And we're going all the way down to Interstate 70 to then head over to Green River. There's water here. This reminds me a lot of the Colorado National Monument, which I really like. At Tamarisk, established in 1979. So we're on our way to Valley of the Gods. We just left Moab, coming up on some arches here that you can see from the road. Ah, somebody hiked up there. Alright, so we made it to Valley of the Gods, and we got an awesome parking spot. It's 100 degrees out. I think the highest that we got was 103 as we got closer to here. So it's super, super hot, so not hardly anybody out here. What was the best part of the trip to get to Alaska?
Icefields Parkway?
Yeah, I would agree. The Icefields Parkway was magical. As far as Alaska, what would you say our favorite places in Alaska were?
Either Valdez or Hyder?
Yeah. Valdez, I agree, was really good. Hyder was good. We didn't get to see the bears because the salmon weren't running yet, but we saw the glacier and we saw where the bears would be, and it was a neat little town, and we had a good experience there. Good boondock off-grid. So I would say that we had to stay in campgrounds 7 days of the 63 days. We spent 1 day at a friend's house. Of those 7 days, we went to a campground and paid. It was 6 days at national parks, just because it was a lot easier to see the park.
They were all dry camping.
Yeah. As far as traveling with a dog, I would say this is our first time to do that in the van, and it was much more complicated. Of course, we have a dog that has high anxiety, and he's a new rescue, but it's been really, really good for him to bring him out of his shell some. He has less anxiety attacks now than he did before. What would you say, like, mistakes? What were the mistakes we made? We didn't get to go halibut fishing, but we would have had to plan ahead on timing. And with the van, it's just nice to be flexible. The van's done great. We didn't get any flat tires. We had one little chip in the front windshield we thought would crack the whole thing, and it hasn't, so we'll probably leave it.
Replace the hose clamp.
Two hose clamps we had to replace. The Wi-Fi booster keeps coming loose.
Yeah,
we keep tightening that. Chuck had to tighten one of the threads on the dualies that allow you to do the airing up and down the valve stems. I would say lessons learned as far as our trip goes. The road wasn't as bad as we were expecting, I guess.
Yeah.
And we definitely learned there's a lot of frost heaves. When you see the black marks on the pavement where people have hit their tires or spun their tires or skid their tires, definitely slow down when you see skid pavement or skid marks on the pavement. And other than that, it was not as bad. I really thought for sure on the Dalton Highway we would get like a flat tire, and we didn't.
We did air down on the Dalton.
We did air down. We did learn airing down is much better than not airing down on some of these roads. That worked really well. Like I said, the new valve stems helped tremendously with the dually tires. Dust, the van's just filthy. I mean, there's just dirt everywhere. We're gonna have to take things apart and redo it. Our microwave rattles a lot. We're going to need to replace that with something better and really strap it down. But overall, the van's done great. Starlink that you can actually put up on a hard mount, I think is going to be the better way to go.
100% of the time.
And have it 100% of the time. Our friends had that, and they were able to drive down the road and have Starlink. And there are a lot of places in Alaska and Canada where you have no service, and it would have been nice to be able to have service. Scary moments go, we almost got hit by a moose. That was like, I could have reached my hand out the window and touched him. Yeah. That was scary. Tio scared us today. He face planted off of a cliff, and when he went down, I couldn't see his front legs. They totally disappeared. And then we had the scare with the electric brake, or no, the hand brake. He pulled the handbrake by accident with his collar, and we were in Salt Lake City on 7 lanes of traffic, rush hour, just gotten out of where the stoppage was, and it was braking, and people were flying by us, and we lost power because the handbrake was being applied. So Chuck thankfully got us over. Took forever to get us back, to get the handbrake off. Valley of the Gods is really the last major planned stop that we had. After this, we're going to be just driving longer days and like 6 or 7 hours a day, which is a long time for us. We're not used to that. And staying at Harvest Host until we get to visit my parents and go to a wedding for a while in Gallatin. So I'm excited about that. And then a couple more days we'll be home. So I think it's been a really awesome and epic trip.